Hi my lovies and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another edition of Dupe or Don't. You guys love this series. You ask me all the time to find out if this product is a dupe for that product. And I do try my best to get as many dupes as I possibly can and do dupes videos for you all the time because they are my favourite to film, because I just love finding affordability, and especially if it looks like something that is much higher end. Happy days! Today's video we are testing the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, which looks like this, and it has been a fond favourite of mine for a whole year. Like, I don't think I'll ever not love this palette. It's just amazing. And we are comparing this today to Makeup Revolution's Flawless Resurrection Iconic 3. I will write down the full name of it below. It is a bit of a mouthful. This is what both of the palettes look like. I have been playing around with this palette for probably about 2 or 3 days because I've been trying to get dupes for this palette, and I think I have got a shadow for every single shadow in this palette. I will go into more detail at the end when I have swatches and stuff like that, but I just want to talk briefly about both of the palettes. So the Modern Renaissance palette is a fond favourite of mine, like I already just stated. It has so many warm shades in it. I am a warm gal. I love it. I love it so much. But these shades are just exquisite. If you've never tried Anastasia Beverly Hills, which I hadn't until last year, this is the first eyeshadow palette I've ever gotten from them. I haven't actually gotten another palette since because I feel like this has spoiled me. I don't want to try something else and not like it as much as this because it was just amazing. Quality and pigmentation of these shadows is second to none, and I very rarely would say that. Hello, look at them. They are incredible shadows. They're super pigmented. They're so easy to work with on the eye. They're really blendable. I placed this eyeshadow palette on one of my eyes today, which is this eye, and then I did the Makeup Revolution palette on this eye. So I tried my best to use as many shadows as possible because it's different swatching them compared to applying them on your eyes. They work very differently. This palette retails for about 48, 49 euro, and it is like gold dust. Very hard to get your hands on. It's not the, like I said, easiest to get here in Ireland because you do generally have to get it shipped from either Anastasia's website, which I think costs about 18 to 20 euro to get shipped to Ireland, or you can buy it on Beauty Bay. I bought mine on Cult Beauty, I think, or Beauty Bay. I can't remember at the time. It was a year ago. And you can buy it in Ulta, Sephora, places like that. In Ireland, definitely a little bit more complicated to get your hands on this. But I will link down places for my followers from all over the globe to try and get hold of this because it is an amazing palette. But if 49 euro is out of your price range, you just don't want to spend it. You don't think you're going to get that many looks out of it. You just wanted it for maybe to try a couple of the shadows, but you don't think it's worth the money for you, then I have tried this palette to compare. So this palette, I believe, came out maybe 6 weeks ago, maybe longer, like it could be, but I've had it for probably 2 weeks maybe, and it has 32 eyeshadows in it. It's obvious to see that compared to the Anastasia one, the pans are slightly smaller, and I believe that I have found a dupe for every single shadow in the Modern Renaissance palette, and you will see the swatches at the end. I'm not going to bore you with them right now. Maybe some people don't want to watch swatches. I bought this palette on Superdrug's website and it cost me 11 euro, and shipping is like 2 euro or something here to Ireland. But if you do live close to the square, you can get this shipped to that Superdrug. Superdrug is the best place, in my opinion, to get your Makeup Revolution because the shipping is very speedy. Now it's very close to pigmentation of the Modern Renaissance palette, but it's never going to be the same. But that is the shadows there, so I'll just swatch them underneath. They're not disappointing in any way, shape or form. They're quite pigmented, and I was very surprised. I expected, because there was 32 shades in this, I don't know, maybe it's just what I'm thinking when I was younger, when I used to buy eyeshadow palettes like this and they were rubbish, but now their formulation is just incredible. So 11 euro for this one and you get 32 shades, or 50 euro for this one and you get 14 shades. So I think it's best for me to actually show you these performing on the eye. So I'm going to do the tutorial next, and then I will come back and I will do the swatches later on. I'm going to take Paint Early Paint Pot from MAC and just apply that onto both of my lids. I'm going to blend them out. Okay, to start, I'm going to take a mixture of golden ochre and burnt orange, and I'm going to place that through my crease of my eye. Makeup Revolution palette, I'm going to take the equivalent shadows, or what I suspect. I'm just going to place them through my crease as well. These are definitely not as pigmented as the Anastasia ones, because you can see how much shadow I got on this eye, and then I'm trying to build up this one. To be honest, they're not bad though. Okay, one of my all-time favorite shades from the Anastasia palette is called Realgar, and I'm just going to place that on the outer corner of my eye. And I'm really hoping that the shadow in the Makeup Revolution one is equivalent to it, because this shade is just life. I absolutely adore it. So I'm just kind of blowing it out a little bit on the outer corner. Okay, on a different brush from the Makeup Revolution palette, I'm going to go in with what I think is the equivalent. Oh my god! It's not bad. It's the same color, but it's just maybe a tad bit less pigmented. But it's definitely not bad. I am super happy. Okay, I'm actually going to take a bit of Love Letters on a more kind of precise little shader brush and just apply that to the outer V, kind of over Realgar, because I just want to add a little bit of pink. I'm just trying to use as many colors as I possibly can from this palette, just to see if the Makeup Revolution one is similar. Okay, with the similar brush, I'm gonna take that pinky shade from the Makeup Revolution palette and just apply it in the same position. To be honest, I was a bit worried about this shade. I think it's actually not bad, as in a match. I thought that they were going to be very different. Again, not as pigmented as the Anastasia one, but it's definitely buildable. Okay, I'm going to take Primavera, one of my favorite shades, and place it into the inner portion of my eye and bringing it out just to the center part. Take one of those Morphe brushes there again, just to blend out any harshness from that shade. Okay, I've tested 4 or 5 of the shades, and I think I've gotten the one that is the closest from the Makeup Revolution palette, so I'm going to apply it in the same positioning. This is actually a lot more pigmented than I thought it would be, because I swatched them and they were poor, but the brush seems picking them up a lot better. Okay, I'm taking a tiny little bit of Cypress Umber on this Sigma brush and just placing that kind of on the extreme outer corner, just to add a bit of depth. Ooh, that went a bit messy. Another Morphe brush and just blending it in. Gonna go in with that equivalent brown from the Makeup Revolution and just apply it to the outer corner. The fluffier brush was a better option actually than the stiff one. I think it applied a bit too much. Finally, taking Tempura and placing that underneath my brow bone, and taking the equivalent from the other palette, from the Makeup Revolution one, and applying it underneath my brow also. Okay guys, I'm just going to apply my eyeshadow underneath my eyes, and I'm going to take Love Letter again because I just really am feeling the pink today. I'm going to take that on a brush that looks something like this and just apply a light layer of that. A light bit. And then I'm going to go into the equivalent shadow here on this palette and just apply that underneath. Oh my god. This is very pigmented. I think the flat shader brushes apply this palette much better than the fluffy brushes. For eyeliner, I'm just going to use MAC's Teddy liner. I've lost my Teddy liner from Essence. I need to buy a new one. I'm going to apply their Real from Benefit for my mascara. And then your eyes are done. So here we have both palettes side by side. The easiest way for me to show you which colors correspond with the Modern Renaissance palette is by putting like a circle around them or a little heart. Some of the colors now, in fairness, when you look at them with the naked eye, you don't think that they're going to match, but once they're swatched, I was actually really surprised that they did match. So I will demonstrate swatches side by side for you guys as well. This palette actually surprised me a lot because I really thought that the pigmentation was going to be very poor in it. But the Makeup Revolution palette also has good pigmentation. It's not the most amazing palette ever, but you have to remember it is a €10 palette, so it is really inexpensive. Okay, so I've swatched Tempura, Golden Ochre and Vermeer and their corresponding dupe. These two, very similar. the golden ochre, very, very similar. Vermeer, hardest shade in the whole of the Modern Renaissance palette to dupe. I think I got it with this one here, which is the second one in. So next up I've got Bonfresco, we have the Antique Bronze and Love Letters. So you can see the three there. I will say that the Bonfresco shadow, the one that corresponds with it from the Makeup Revolution palette, took an awful lot to build up to this intensity. Okay, so here we have Cypress Umber. It's Dupe, Raw Sienna and Burnt Orange. Cypress Umber is a tad bit lighter in the Makeup Revolution palette. The rest of them I think match quite well, if I do say so myself. The next three are Primavera, Red Ochre and Ventian Red. Now, looking at this one here, you would think that there was no dupe for this palette, but it's actually this shade here that I've swatched. Now, it's a little bit less pigmented, but if you build it up, you will get the same intensity. The last ones are Warm Taupe and Realgar. So this is the Warm Taupe and Realgar. Warm Taupe was another shadow that I found very difficult to dupe. I chose this one here in the end, and it is the closest. Just to let you know, guys, I didn't put down any base. I just kind of wiped my arm with a wipe in between applications. But I think out of all the shadows from the Modern Renaissance palette, I got a good dupe for most of them. The only two that I kind of had issues with were Vermeer and Warm Taupe. So I am going to come back to you in a moment and give you my full conclusions. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching the tutorial and the swatches and all of that. My final thoughts on both of these palettes is that they are dupes. So yay, they're dupes! They are not, like I said earlier and when I was doing the swatches and stuff like that, they are not complete and utter formula dupes, but the colors are very, very similar and you can get the exact same eye look from using both of the palettes. So if you wanted to save a little bit of moolah, then I would recommend going with this palette. You get more shades in it. The quality of them is still amazing, and you can see that I found a dupe for almost every single shadow. There is kind of some types of variation. If any of you have tried this palette, please let me know and let me know what you guys think of it. Do you think it's just as good a quality as the Anastasia, or maybe Anastasia? Or maybe you've never tried Anastasia and you're just delighted with this one. I personally think that this is like my favorite dupe that I've found in a long time, because the Modern Renaissance palette is my everything when it comes to eyeshadow palettes. I love it so much. It is my favorite eyeshadow palette out there at the moment. I am shocked, surprised and very happy that you can find a dupe for this for €11. Okay guys, don't forget that if you want to see any more like dupes and stuff like that on my channel, that you should subscribe if that's what you want to do. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it wherever you can. Get my videos out there. And thank you so much for all your continued support and viewing, and I love you guys so much. Mwah. Bye!